We're first going to talk about the Richmond 100% cotton Jacquard woven bedspread that just so happens to be customer top rated. Let me walk you through your colors because you're going to get the shams and you're going to get the Jacquard bedspread, and you're going to get it all at a great price of $81 and change, which is a lower price than normal. And you have 3 great color choices to choose from, which are just perfect for spring if you want to lighten up your bed with the bedspread. So here on the bed is this light green, and if you're thinking, gosh, that looks like a sage color, well, guess what? That's what we call it. So this is light sage, and then the other portion making up the Jacquard is a little bit of an off-white color. I don't want to say cream, but it's not like stark white like my Quacker pants, so somewhere in between. Then down here on the bench, this is your shade of blue. We call this one navy, and gosh, did I wear the perfect outfit or what? It's not as bold and as bright as the navy blazer that I'm wearing. It's definitely more of like a denim colored navy. So if you like blue in general, I would go with this one. I just did Clay's room, my little 2.5-year-old. Well, I'm doing it right now. We turned the crib into a bed, and we're doing like a little bit of a nautical theme. Yep, I ordered him a TP this morning. Hopefully he goes in it because otherwise it's a waste of money. But this is that color that I'm using, just like a nice classic blue color that isn't too light and isn't too dark. And then over here, there's one more option. Gray, which is interesting because gray and navy both really seem to be the big trend in home decor right now. Gray started first, I guess a good 5, maybe even 6 years ago. And then this past year or two, navy is really kind of taking the lead. So if you want really, really current, I would either go with the gray or the navy. And if you just want something that really screams spring and lightens up the whole look in a bedroom that you sleep in or a bedroom that's the guest room, then I would definitely go with that really pretty light sage. So who knows what Jacquard is? Everybody raise their hands? Okay, good. So then you know that this is not printed on the bedspread. You know that this is customer top rated because it's really a pattern in the bedspread thanks to that Jacquard. So when you roll it down, because I don't know how you make your bed, we can all talk about that a little later and take the votes, but if you like to fold it back over, which is what I like to do, then you're going to see just kind of the opposite of the print, and more of the off-white color is exposed, but that pattern, I just called it print, excuse me, that pattern is still there. Now if you are a bed maker, like my grandmother and my mother, they don't turn it back. I think I turn it back from staring at catalogs. I don't know, I'm a lover of getting inspiration from catalogs. I don't necessarily buy from the catalog because they're pricey, but I love to see what the pro decor stylists are doing. So now granted, my mom would make sure that this is much nicer than I just did. Don't mind me. But this is how my mom and my grandmother taught us to make the bed. They don't ever roll it down. They always just kind of glide it up like that. So it's really, really pretty. And can we talk about the weight? So if I was to describe it, it's definitely more blanket and less comforter. So think about the times that you get hot in the summertime. Think about the times that really, if you change out curtains and change out decor and change out linens because you just want your house to look spring and summer, this is such a nice option. I know growing up, my great-grandmother had a beach home, and not like an extra beach home. We're not that kind of family. I come from blue-collar workers. Like that was where she lived, and they had a fish market, and they owned a barber shop. So it's really wonderful that it happened to be by the beach where they permanently lived and had that residence, because then we all got to go there and visit them. And nobody would dare put a comforter in the beach house because, oh my gosh, there was no air conditioning back then, and the windows were on and the ceiling fans were on, but none of it really cooled you off enough. So everybody would just do sheets and bedspreads, and that was it. And I have such memories of just, you know, feeling just perfectly wonderful with a little bit of breeze coming through the window and little bits of crickets that you could hear, and then that bedspread on the bed. It really just makes you think spring and makes you think summer. So this one again is that really pretty light sage option. You don't have to do fancy. I mean, we did the gray sheet here. Call me boring, but I like a good classic white sheet. So I think this would even look really pretty with a white sheet. You know, thinking about fashion and decor and how they go hand in hand, if you have a pretty summer floral, when it comes to sheets, do a nice little floral sheet under that. That would look really, really pretty. So this again is called light sage, and that it is. These names are perfect. Then down here is the gray. I know it looks pretty on the bench, but I can't help but touch and pick it up. Now remember, you're gonna get the shams. This sham is really nice in the back. It's that solid, wonderful fabric, so you don't have a design in the back. Your pillow would go inside, and then you know it has that little extra piece of material to hide being the pillow being seen. And then there's that really pretty, pretty design. Very Americana. It almost gives me like the feel of like very chic handkerchief. Like I love that little design. I mean, sure, if you're fancier than I am and finer than I am, let me go in one ear and out the other and tell me that it's giving you damask. But either way, I kind of like it. Just has that really fun, beautiful pattern. Big on the bedspread and then obviously cascades and goes smaller out along the sides. And then this is that navy option. Can you tell I like to do fashion? Bold, nautical, navy in the blazer. Definitely more of a denim-y blue over here in bedspread and sham collections. And think about it too, you know, your price is $81.50. It's one thing to change out all the decor, change out all the curtains, change out the linens on the bed, if you have to spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. This is available in a full, a queen, and a king, and those prices don't change. I remember when I moved into a king-size bed just 3 years ago. It was wonderful as far as sleeping arrangements go. I hear a little less of the snoring, if you know what I mean. But my gosh, I didn't realize how expensive it would be anytime I ever wanted sheets and blankets and such. So my king-size families, definitely say hello to your customer top-rated 100% cotton, which is a nice cooling fabric, Jacquard woven bedspread. It's H214515.